Ladies and gentlemen, today let's talk about success. Not just about reaching a certain destination, but about the habits and mindsets that make success a consistent and repeatable result. Now, let me be clear, success is not just about what you achieve. It's about what you consistently avoid. There are certain things that successful people just don't do, and if we pay attention to these, we can avoid many of the pitfalls that often prevent people from reaching their potential. So let's dive into the 10 things successful people never do. Successful people don't blame circumstances or people for their failures. They understand that they have control over their choices, actions, and responses. They take full responsibility for their lives. Excuses? Not in their vocabulary. They ask themselves, what can I do to make it better? And they get to work. They know that the moment you start making excuses is the moment you give away your power. Success isn't built on luck. It's built on effort, and successful people understand that. They know that shortcuts are temporary and that true success comes from sustained effort over time. They don't shy away from challenges. Instead, they see them as opportunities to grow. The road to success is rarely smooth, but they walk it with determination, not with complaints. Growth doesn't happen when you're comfortable. It happens when you challenge yourself, when you stretch your limits. Successful people know that if they want to grow, they must step outside of their comfort zone. They are constantly seeking new challenges, new opportunities, and new ways to expand their knowledge. Staying comfortable means staying stagnant. The moment you think you know it all, you've stopped growing. Successful people are lifelong learners. They know that every experience, every failure, and every success teaches them something new. Whether it's reading books, listening to podcasts, or learning from mentors, they keep their minds open and hungry for more knowledge. They never believe they've learned enough. Fear is a natural emotion, but successful people don't let it dictate their actions. Fear may show up, but it doesn't get to make the decisions. Successful people know that the greatest achievements are often on the other side of fear. They take calculated risks and move forward despite their fears. They know that courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. Surrounding yourself with negativity is like planting weeds in your garden. They choke out your growth. Successful people don't waste time on negative, toxic influences. They understand the power of their environment and are selective about who they let into their lives. They protect their energy, focusing on people who inspire, encourage, and push them to be better. Setbacks are not failures, they're lessons in disguise. Successful people understand that failure is a part of success, not the end of it. They don't let a single setback define them. Instead, they use it as fuel to come back stronger. They know that the road to success is never a straight line. It's full of curves, detours, and bumps, but they keep going. Successful people don't dwell on past mistakes or successes. They learn from them, but they don't live in them. The past is a place of reference, not a place to stay. They understand that to move forward, they need to focus on what's in front of them, not behind. They are forward thinking, always planning their next move, their next goal, and their next challenge. Money is important, but it's never the driving force behind success. Successful people know that true fulfillment comes from doing meaningful work, making an impact, and adding value to the world. Money follows value, not the other way around. If you chase money, it will run from you, but if you chase excellence, success will find you. The most successful people are often those who have failed the most. But they don't quit. They keep going. They have resilience. They face challenges. They experience failures, but they never let any of it define them. They have an unwavering commitment to their vision and their goals. The only time they truly fail is when they stop trying. Successful people don't waste time making excuses. They understand that excuses are nothing more than a way to avoid responsibility. When something goes wrong, they don't point fingers at circumstances, at other people, or at external factors. They look inward and ask themselves, what could I have done differently? They take ownership of their actions, decisions, and results. They understand that no one can control everything that happens to them, but they can always control how they respond. It's easy to slip into the habit of blaming others or making excuses for why things didn't go as planned. But successful people know that by doing so, they surrender their power to change. They know that each excuse they make is a chance to avoid growth. Excuses are a crutch that keeps them from moving forward. And every time they make one, they create a small barrier between themselves and the success they're capable of achieving. Instead of making excuses, successful people look for solutions. They ask themselves, what can I learn from this? They understand that every setback, every challenge is an opportunity to improve. When things don't go their way, they don't waste energy blaming the situation or complaining about the unfairness of it all. They roll up their sleeves and get to work fixing the problem, learning from the experience, and moving ahead with a stronger resolve. They know that success doesn't come from making excuses, but from taking action, owning their results, and consistently improving. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you start taking control of your life. It's the moment you step into a mindset where you realize that your future is in your hands. The excuses you make today will determine the opportunities you miss tomorrow. So successful people refuse to let excuses control them. Instead, they choose responsibility and action because they understand that no one else is coming to save them. They are the architects of their own destiny. Successful people understand something fundamental. There are no shortcuts to success. They don't shy away from hard work. They embrace it. They know that success is built on the foundation of effort and perseverance. It's easy to look at someone who has achieved great things and think that they were just lucky or that success came effortlessly. But that's never the case. Behind every successful person, there's a mountain of hard work, discipline, and sacrifice that others may never see. They don't look for the easy way out. They understand that every bit of effort they put in today will pay dividends down the road. Whether it's working late nights, waking up early, or doing the things others aren't willing to do, successful people know that hard work is non-negotiable. They also know that success is not a destination, it's a journey. And that journey requires constant effort, growth, and sometimes a lot of sweat. It's not just about doing the work, it's about doing it consistently. Every single day, successful people show up. They don't wait for motivation to strike or for things to be perfect. They don't sit around hoping for things to happen. They make things happen through relentless action. They understand that motivation is fleeting, but discipline is what keeps them moving forward. They create their own momentum by working hard, even when it's tough, even when they don't feel like it. Some may call it persistence, others may call it grit. But successful people know that hard work is the key that unlocks the doors of opportunity. They know that the rewards of success never come easily, but they are more than willing to put in the effort. And here's the beautiful thing about hard work, it never goes unnoticed. While it might seem like others are moving ahead without much effort, those who work hard are quietly laying the groundwork for their own success. When faced with challenges or setbacks, successful people don't give up. They work harder. They push through the obstacles, refine their approach, and keep pressing forward. They know that success isn't about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get up, dust yourself off, and keep working toward your goal. Hard work is a mindset. It's about choosing effort over ease, discipline over comfort, and long-term gain over short-term pleasure. And successful people never, ever avoid it. Successful people understand that growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. In fact, staying in your comfort zone is the quickest way to stagnate. You see, growth is uncomfortable. It requires pushing yourself beyond the limits you've set for yourself and doing things you may not feel ready for. Successful people embrace that discomfort because they know it's where the magic happens. The moment you get too comfortable is the moment you stop moving forward. Comfort is where dreams go to die. While most people will settle for what's familiar, successful people are always looking for opportunities to challenge themselves, to stretch their abilities, and to expand their potential. They understand that if they want to achieve something greater than what they've already done, they have to be willing to take risks and face uncertainty. They know that the road to success is never a straight path, it's filled with detours, roadblocks, and obstacles. But they also know that each of those challenges is an opportunity to become better, stronger, and more capable. The comfort zone is a place where fear and doubt thrive, and successful people know that. When you're comfortable, you're not growing. You're not testing yourself. You're not improving. Successful people step into the unknown because they know that's where the real opportunities lie. Every time they push themselves past their comfort zone, they build new skills, gain new experiences, and become better versions of themselves. They take calculated risks, try new things, and venture into unfamiliar territories because they know that growth always lies on the other side of fear. And here's the kicker: when you keep stepping out of your comfort zone, it no longer feels as uncomfortable. The more you stretch yourself, the more you expand your boundaries, and eventually the things that once seemed impossible become routine. The comfort zone is a place where mediocrity resides, but successful people are never satisfied with mediocrity. They're striving for excellence, and that means they have to keep pushing themselves, learning new things, and tackling challenges that scare them. They know that success is about continual improvement, and that only happens when you leave your comfort zone behind. Success isn't found in the safety of what you already know. It's found in the courage to face the unknown, the willingness to take risks, and the ability to thrive in discomfort. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you have to be willing to step into discomfort and leave behind the security of the familiar. The greatest rewards are waiting outside of your comfort zone, And successful people understand that it's in the discomfort that they find their true potential. Successful people know that the day you stop learning is the day you start dying, metaphorically speaking. Knowledge is not a destination, it's a never-ending journey. The world is constantly evolving, and if you're not growing, you're falling behind. So successful people make learning a lifelong commitment. They never settle for what they know today because they understand that the more they learn, the more they realize how much they still have to discover. Learning isn't something they do when they have time, it's something they make time for every day. They don't wait for formal education or a degree to dictate their growth. They understand that learning comes in many forms. It's in the books they read, the podcasts they listen to, the seminars they attend, and the conversations they engage in. It's in every new experience, every failure, and every success. Successful people are curious. They ask questions. They seek out knowledge, not because they have to, but because they want to. They realize that the most successful people are not necessarily the smartest, but the ones who are most willing to learn and adapt. They never believe that they know enough. In fact, they're often the first to admit that they have room to grow. Humility is a powerful thing. It allows them to remain open to new ideas, perspectives, and strategies. The more successful they become, the more they recognize that their current knowledge is only a small piece of the puzzle. They know that in order to stay ahead, they need to continuously evolve, and that only happens through learning. But it's not just about accumulating information, it's about applying what they've learned. Knowledge is power only when it's used. Successful people take what they've learned and turn it into action. They're not just looking for theoretical knowledge, they're looking for insights they can apply to their lives, their businesses, and their goals. They understand that learning without action is like gathering seeds without ever planting them. It's the application of knowledge that turns information into results. The most successful people also know that learning is not just about gaining expertise in a particular field, it's about becoming a well-rounded individual. They seek knowledge not only in their professional lives, but in their personal lives as well. They understand that growth comes from being open to learning about different perspectives, cultures, and experiences. By continuously expanding their horizons, they not only become more knowledgeable, but also more adaptable, resourceful, and creative. The bottom line is this: successful people never stop learning because they know that success is not a fixed point, it's a process. And the key to that process is the continuous pursuit of knowledge. Learning keeps them sharp, keeps them relevant, and keeps them ahead of the curve. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. But if you make learning a priority, you'll constantly be evolving, growing, and pushing yourself toward greater achievements. The more you learn, the more you realize there's always something new to discover, and that's where the excitement and the growth lie. Fear is a natural part of life, but successful people know that it doesn't have to control them. Fear will always be there, lingering at the edges, trying to stop you from stepping forward. It's a universal feeling, something that every person experiences. But here's the difference: successful people don't let fear dictate their actions. They don't let it hold them back from pursuing their dreams, taking risks, or facing challenges head on. You see, fear is often misunderstood. It's not an indication that you should stop. It's a signal that you're stepping into the unknown. And that's exactly where growth happens. Fear doesn't mean you're not capable, it means you're growing, stretching your boundaries, and pushing yourself beyond what's comfortable. Successful people recognize this and embrace fear instead of letting it paralyze them. They understand that every time they face fear and move through it, they become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The real key to success isn't the absence of fear, it's the ability to take action in spite of it. Fear, in many ways, is like a shadow. The more you avoid it, the bigger it becomes. But when you face it directly, it shrinks and loses its power. Successful people don't avoid fear, they meet it with courage. They may feel the same anxiety and doubt as anyone else, but they choose to act anyway. They know that success doesn't happen in the comfort zone. And the only way to achieve greatness is to step into the discomfort of fear and move through it. This doesn't mean that they aren't cautious or thoughtful. Fear can be a guide, nudging them to prepare better, to think through their decisions, and to be aware of potential risks. But successful people don't let that caution turn into hesitation or avoidance. They recognize the difference between being mindful of risks and allowing fear to stop them from taking action altogether. The truly successful don't wait for the fear to go away. They don't wait for the perfect moment or for the right conditions. They act in the face of fear, trusting that their ability to adapt, learn, and overcome challenges will carry them through. They understand that the only way to make progress is to keep moving forward, even when their heart is racing or their mind is filled with doubt. And here's the truth: when you take action despite your fear, you start to see that it's not as big and terrifying as you once thought. Every step forward, no matter how small, weakens fear's grip. Over time, the things that once scared you no longer seem as daunting. Fear becomes a familiar companion on the journey, one that you've learned to manage, not avoid. Fear can stop the average person in their tracks. It can prevent them from taking risks, from pursuing their dreams, and from stepping into their potential. But successful people don't let it control them. They acknowledge it, understand it, and move forward anyway. Because they know that success lies on the other side of fear, and they refuse to let anything hold them back from reaching it. Successful people know that their time and energy are precious resources, and they don't waste them on negativity. They understand that negative people can be like emotional vampires, draining your enthusiasm, your focus, and your drive. They're aware that being around negative influences not only affects their mood, but it can also cloud their judgment and undermine their efforts. That's why they are very selective about who they spend their time with. You see, negativity is contagious. One person with a bad attitude can bring down an entire team, an entire room, or even an entire organization. Successful people recognize this and avoid getting sucked into the vortex of complaining, criticism, or pessimism. They know that every moment spent on negativity is a moment they could be investing in something productive, something that moves them closer to their goals. So they choose to surround themselves with people who are positive, supportive, and solution-focused. This doesn't mean they avoid people who are going through tough times. We all face struggles, and successful people know that empathy and support are vital in those moments. But they understand the difference between someone who's seeking help and someone who's constantly dwelling in negativity. There's a big difference between a person who shares their challenges in an effort to solve them and someone who simply complains without taking any action to improve their situation. Successful people prefer to spend their energy with those who are not only aware of their challenges but are actively looking for ways to overcome them. Successful people know that negative energy is a choice. They understand that just as they can choose to focus on the positive, others can choose to focus on the negative. They don't waste their time trying to change or fix people who are determined to remain stuck in their negativity. Instead, they focus their attention on those who are forward-thinking, those who are growing, and those who are striving for success. It's not just about protecting themselves from others, it's about protecting their own mindset and their own energy. They know that in order to achieve greatness, they need to cultivate an environment of positivity, encouragement, and possibility. They refuse to let the weight of someone else's pessimism drag them down or slow them down. They maintain their focus on their goals and refuse to let the opinions or negativity of others alter their course. And here's something crucial: successful people also know that negativity can sometimes come from within. It's not just about avoiding the negative people around them, but also about managing the negative thoughts and doubts inside their own minds. They've learned that their internal dialogue must be one of encouragement, self-belief, and resilience. They understand that to overcome external negativity, they first need to conquer their own fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs. At the end of the day, successful people realize that they are the sum of the people they spend the most time with. So they protect their energy, their peace, and their focus. They invest their time in relationships that inspire and uplift them. And they know that as long as they remain true to their goals, the negative voices will have no power over them. The more they surround themselves with people who believe in possibility, the more they are reminded of their own potential. And that's a powerful thing. Successful people understand that setbacks are simply a part of the journey, not the end of the road. They know that every success story is filled with obstacles, challenges, and moments of failure. But here's the key: they never let setbacks discourage them. They don't see a setback as a reflection of their ability or their potential. They see it as a lesson, an opportunity to adjust their approach, and an invitation to get better. When faced with a setback, the average person might throw in the towel. They might wallow in self-pity, ask themselves why me, and feel sorry for themselves. But not successful people. They know that setbacks don't define their future, they simply delay it for a time. A setback isn't a failure, it's a signal that something needs to be learned, adjusted, or done differently. Successful people don't waste time feeling defeated. They use the moment to reflect, recalibrate, and get back to work with renewed focus and energy. It's important to understand that failure is not a permanent state, it's a temporary experience. When setbacks happen, successful people do not allow themselves to become emotionally attached to the disappointment. Instead, they take a step back, look at the situation objectively, and ask what went wrong. They don't let frustration cloud their judgment. They analyze, learn, and then move forward with a better strategy. They understand that every successful person has faced failure, but what sets them apart is their ability to bounce back, stronger and wiser than before. A setback is also an opportunity to test your commitment. When things get tough, it's easy to question whether you're on the right path, but successful people don't quit when the going gets rough. They dig in. They understand that success is not built on the easy days, it's built on how you respond when things aren't going according to plan. They never let setbacks shake their belief in themselves or in the goal they're pursuing. They remain steadfast in their vision, knowing that every setback is just another step toward eventual success. Successful people also understand that setbacks are often a blessing in disguise. Sometimes the universe or life has a way of guiding you toward a better opportunity, a new direction, or a different approach. While setbacks may seem discouraging at the time, they often serve as redirection, pushing you toward something better, more aligned with your long-term goals. They don't see setbacks as roadblocks, but as detours leading them to a better path. They embrace the journey, understanding that every setback, every failure, and every challenge is shaping them into the person they need to be to achieve their ultimate success. The important thing to remember is that setbacks are not personal attacks. They don't reflect on your worth, your intelligence, or your abilities. They are simply part of the process. Successful people don't take it personally when things don't go as planned. They recognize that setbacks are universal. They happen to everyone. What matters is how you respond. Do you let them break your spirit, or do you rise stronger, more determined, and more focused than before? Success is not about avoiding setbacks. It's about how you handle them when they come. Successful people never let setbacks discourage them because they know that resilience is one of the key ingredients to success. They understand that the path to greatness is rarely a smooth ride. It's filled with bumps, curves, and unexpected turns. But they press on because they know that each setback is just another opportunity to prove their resilience, to learn, to grow, and to get one step closer to their goal. Successful people understand that the past is a place of reference, not residence. They don't live there. They understand that yesterday's victories, though valuable, are not enough to sustain them today. Yesterday's failures, though painful, do not define their future. They know that the present moment is all they truly control, and they use it to move forward, to learn, and to build something better. It's easy to get caught up in the past. Many people spend their days reminiscing about what was, whether it's the good old days or the mistakes they made. They look back and wish things had gone differently or feel regret about opportunities they didn't take. But successful people refuse to get stuck in these patterns of thinking. They recognize that living in the past only steals energy from today. If they're constantly looking backward, they can't move forward. They don't allow themselves to dwell on what could have been. They focus on what can be. The past is important only as a teacher. Successful people look at their past to learn the lessons they need to carry into the future. They reflect on what worked, what didn't, and how they can improve. They use past experiences as stepping stones, not as burdens. When things go wrong, they don't waste time blaming themselves for past mistakes. Instead, they ask themselves, what can I learn from this? And move forward with that newfound knowledge. This is key. Successful people don't allow past failures to stop them from trying again. They know that failure is a temporary experience, not a permanent condition. And just because something didn't work out in the past doesn't mean it won't work in the future. They never let the mistakes of yesterday cast a shadow on today's possibilities. They look ahead, not behind, because they know that the future is where their potential lies. The same goes for past successes. Successful people don't rest on their laurels. They don't define their future by what they've already achieved. They know that success is about what they're doing now, not what they did in the past. The greatest achievements of their lives may have been yesterday, but today is another chance to grow, to push the envelope, and to reach higher. They refuse to get complacent. They understand that life doesn't reward you for what you did, it rewards you for what you do today. Living in the past also means living in memories that can cloud the present. We all have moments in our past that were painful, disappointing, or even tragic. Successful people don't deny these experiences, but they don't let them control their lives. They don't give past hurts power over their present happiness. They heal, they learn, and they move on. They understand that holding on to past grievances only keeps them stuck, and they refuse to let old wounds dictate their future. Time is the most valuable resource we have, and successful people don't waste it looking backward. They focus on the opportunities and challenges of today, because they know that today is the only time they can shape. They live in the present, use the lessons of the past to guide them, and focus all their energy on moving forward. By doing so, they keep creating new opportunities, building on what's ahead, and making the most of the time they have right now. In the end, successful people understand that the past is gone, the future isn't here yet, and the only moment they truly own is the present. They use it wisely, stay focused on the possibilities, and keep moving toward their goals, one step at a time. They know that the key to creating a brighter future is to stop living in the past and start living in the now. Successful people understand that while money is an essential tool for creating a comfortable life, it is never their sole motivator. Money alone doesn't drive them. It's a means to an end, not the end itself. They know that if you make money the center of your life, you will ultimately find yourself empty, chasing after something that can never truly satisfy your deeper needs. They realize that lasting success is about more than just accumulating wealth. It's about creating value, making an impact, and living a life of purpose. When successful people start a business, pursue a career, or embark on a new project, money is never their primary goal. Sure, it's part of the equation, but it's never the reason they do what they do. They're driven by something far greater, by a passion for what they do, by a desire to help others, by the thrill of solving problems, or by the pursuit of personal growth. Money may be a result of their efforts, but it's not the fuel that keeps them moving. Their motivation comes from within, from the joy of pursuing something meaningful, and from the satisfaction of doing work that aligns with their values. If money were the only thing that motivated them, they would quickly burn out. There would be no joy in their work, no excitement, no long-term satisfaction. They would constantly be looking for the next financial reward, never feeling content or fulfilled. But successful people know that real fulfillment comes from doing something that matters. They are driven by purpose, by the impact they want to have on the world, by the difference they want to make, and by the legacy they want to leave. Money may come as a byproduct of their hard work, but the true rewards are measured in the value they provide and the personal growth they experience along the way. When you are motivated by money alone, you can easily fall into the trap of chasing the wrong things. You may find yourself making decisions based purely on financial gain without considering the long-term consequences. But successful people never let money dictate their choices. They take a longer view. They make decisions based on what aligns with their vision, their values, and their goals, not just on what will bring the quickest financial reward. They know that the pursuit of money without a clear sense of purpose will lead to dissatisfaction and disillusionment. Moreover, successful people understand that money, while important, is not what brings happiness. It can provide comfort, freedom, and opportunities, but it cannot fulfill the deeper needs of the soul. They know that true happiness comes from living a life of integrity, from building meaningful relationships, from pursuing their passions, and from contributing to something larger than themselves. Money may enable them to live comfortably and enjoy certain experiences, but it is not the key to their happiness. Happiness comes from within, and it's rooted in doing the work that truly matters. Another thing successful people understand is the importance of giving. They don't hoard money for its own sake. They know that true wealth isn't just about accumulating resources, it's about sharing those resources with others. Whether it's through philanthropy, mentoring, or helping others achieve success, successful people find fulfillment in giving. They know that when you give, you create more value, more opportunity, and more connection. Money, in their eyes, is not a prize to be won, but a tool to create positive change and opportunity for others. Ultimately, successful people understand that a life driven only by the pursuit of money will never be truly fulfilling. They choose to be motivated by something far greater, something that brings them joy, meaning, and purpose. Money becomes a tool they use to enhance their lives and the lives of others, but it's never the sole purpose of their efforts. They know that when you follow your passions, when you align your work with your values, and when you focus on making a positive impact, the financial rewards will naturally follow. Successful people know one fundamental truth: quitting is never an option. When the road gets tough, when obstacles seem insurmountable, and when others are ready to give up, they keep going. They understand that success isn't determined by how you start, it's determined by how you finish. And the key to finishing strong is to never quit, no matter the challenges or setbacks you face along the way. You see, setbacks are inevitable. There will always be moments when things don't go according to plan. There will be failures, frustrations, and moments of doubt. But successful people don't quit in the face of these difficulties. They understand that challenges are simply a part of the process. They're not signs that you should stop. They're signals that you need to adjust, pivot, or grow. Every challenge, every difficulty, every failure is an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to get closer to your goal. And successful people know that in order to reach their potential, they must press on, regardless of the obstacles. What sets successful people apart is their ability to endure, to persevere through the tough times. They don't quit because things get hard. In fact, they embrace the hard times because they know that success is built on overcoming adversity. They've learned that true strength comes not from avoiding difficulty, but from facing it head on and refusing to be defeated by it. They understand that the people who achieve great things aren't the ones who never face challenges. They're the ones who never quit, no matter how many times they fall down. Successful people also understand that progress is rarely linear. The road to success isn't a straight path. It's full of twists and turns, highs and lows. There will be moments when it feels like you're making no progress at all, and there will be times when you wonder if it's all worth it. But successful people know that these moments are temporary. They keep going, even when the results aren't immediate. They trust the process and believe that their efforts will pay off in the end. They understand that the most successful people are those who kept moving forward when everyone else would have quit. One of the most powerful things successful people know is that quitting doesn't just stop progress, it causes you to lose everything you've already worked for. Every bit of effort, every ounce of energy, every hour you've invested, it all becomes meaningless if you quit. They refuse to give up because they understand that they've already come too far to turn back. Quitting would erase all the progress they've made, and they refuse to let that happen. Instead, they push forward, building on what they've learned and growing stronger with each step. The truth is, most people quit too soon. They give up right before the breakthrough happens. But successful people understand that the last part of the journey is often the hardest. They know that it's the final push, the moment when others are quitting, that makes all the difference. That's when success is just around the corner. And if they quit, they'll miss it. So they keep going. They dig in, they stay focused, and they push through when others would have given up. And here's another truth: successful people don't let fear of failure stop them from moving forward. Fear of failure is one of the main reasons people quit. They fear that they'll make mistakes, that they'll look foolish, or that they'll waste their time. But successful people don't let these fears control them. They understand that failure is not the end, it's just a stepping stone on the path to success. They embrace failure, learn from it, and keep going. They know that quitting because of fear only guarantees that they'll never experience success. In the end, successful people never quit because they understand the power of persistence. They understand that achieving their goals is a journey, and like any journey, it requires endurance. So when the going gets tough, they don't quit, they get tougher. They understand that quitting is never the answer, and as long as they keep moving forward, they will eventually reach their destination.